What's up, DFS players? We are going through the best two player props on PrizePicks. You are not going to want to miss this. So again, it is critical to compare the lines on PrizePicks to those on the sportsbooks. So for example, here we can see this play, which was found on the OddsJam Positive EV page, Ian Anderson over 4.5 strikeouts. So if we head over and we take a look at the odds, you can see the sportsbooks have the over heavily juiced, right? So we definitely want to be including this in our PrizePicks entry because again, PrizePicks will not change your payout depending on if you select a pitcher, his over is under, right? Any two picks you select, 20 to win 60, just plus 200 odds. So it doesn't matter if we take unders, 20 to win 60. Doesn't matter if we take overs, 20 to win 60, right? So this is why on PrizePicks, it is so critical if you are playing on PrizePicks to compare the lines to the sportsbooks, because here we see a massive line discrepancy where the sportsbooks have Ian Anderson over 4.5 strikeouts from minus 180 to minus 205. Right? So the value is on Ian Anderson over 4.5 strikeouts on PrizePicks. And you can see we found this player prop with a 7.8% profit margin. So an insanely high profit margin on PrizePicks, right? Ian Anderson over 4.5, minus 137 implied odds on PrizePicks. We've gone through the math in previous videos that you can watch if you want to learn about the math behind PrizePicks strategy. So we're going to have two picks, and then the second pick I've already gone through, but also this play is just from the OddsJam Positive EV tool. We're on Reed over 3.5 strikeouts. So if you check it out right here, we can see again, sportsbooks have the over heavily juiced, or they have the line set at 4.5. And on PrizePicks, we can get, this at the implied price of minus 137. So I locked it in. Ian Anderson, Reed, both over in strikeouts. Ian Anderson over 4.5, Reed over 3.5. So 500 to win $1,000. And we can go through the math of our PrizePicks entry as well. But what's pretty interesting, right, is this is the way sportsbooks work, right? If I were to take Ian Anderson 5+ strikeouts and Reed over 3.5 strikeouts. So again, Ian Anderson 5+ strikeouts is equivalent to over 4.5 strikeouts. So if we were to take both overs, you can see we'd be getting plus 147 odds. PrizePicks is giving us plus 200, right? 100 to win 300, but that 300 includes your stake. So it's really 100 to win 200 in profit. That's just plus 200 odds. Now, if we switch Reed to his under, we're getting plus 198, right? So sportsbooks, depending on if you pick the over or the under, they are greatly varying their payout. And that's because the way sportsbooks work is they're taking all the action in the market, adjusting their win probabilities for a wager, and reflecting that in the odds, right? So for Ian Anderson, over 4.5 strikeouts, the sharpest sportsbook in the world is pricing this all the way at minus 205. So minus 205 is what they had the over. They had the under plus 146, which means that according to Pinnacle, right here, the sharpest bookmaker, right here, minus 205 on the over, plus 146 on the under, this player prop should be hitting 62.31% of the time. So 62.31% of the time, we're going to be hitting our Ian Anderson prop. Now, for this second player prop, over 3.5 strikeouts, Pinnacle's market is minus 177, plus 131. So their model is implying that this pick is 59.61% to hit. So we have two player props, one hitting at a clip of 59.6% according to the betting market on the sharpest, most efficient sportsbook. And then we have a second, player prop right here that's hitting at an even higher rate, which is why you can see here this Reed one, slightly lower profit margin than this Ian Anderson strikeout prop on PrizePicks, which is an epic prop. Everyone should be hammering this. Ian Anderson over 4.5 strikeouts. I mean, look at this. Like most sportsbooks, some sportsbooks even have the line set at 5.5, slightly juiced towards the under. But I mean, clearly being able to get over 4.5 in your PrizePicks entry is ridiculous value when most sportsbooks are setting this close to minus 200. So if you actually adjust now, you can see every sportsbook has moved their line to over under 5.5 strikeouts, right? And we can still get Ian Anderson over 4.5, minus 137 implied odds on PrizePicks. So I went ahead, I locked it in. Two player props. The profit margin is $57 on my $500 stake, so 11.43% edge on this DFS prop. Again, just using real-time odds from the sharpest bookmaker in the world to back out win probabilities for our picks and looking for value on PrizePicks, right? So two extremely sharp player props for tonight. Lock them in. Let me know if you like it. Let's make some money.